Ranking the guns or scrolls of sulfur is a totally reasonable ask. There's not so many that it's overwhelming. There's quite a bit, don't get me wrong, but it's not that bad. On the other hand, there's hundreds and hundreds of oils in the game, and I just don't have it in me to conquer that Everest-sized mountain right now. But what I can do for you, you little sweetheart, is give you the best oils in the games. The ones that if you see them, you gotta stash them because you might want to use them at some point. Whether you plan to build them soon with the gun you're using, or maybe you have an idea with a different gun, or maybe you don't even know what the oils necessarily do and you're brand new to the game. These are the oils you'll regret skipping out on, whether they're really fun or really powerful or a mixture of both. There's so many oils in the pool, and RNG might make it so you don't see them again. That could just happen for you. Except for one of them. One of them you could always get. All the time. Coming soon. Coming up soon. You're going to see that one. It's on the list. I told you that. After looking through all the oils in the game, I found 63 that I thought could be worth talking about. Then I decided to narrow it down to 30. Make this a little bit more digestible and easier for you and me as we go through it. They're not in order from worst to best. It's just all of the S+ tier oils. Matrix is an oil that has a very on-the-nose name because once you slap it on your gun, it becomes something you would see in the popular movie from like 30 years ago, a million years ago, The Matrix. I'm not sure how much cultural relevance that has anymore, and I'm sure there's some people that haven't seen it somehow. I mean, it's still a great moment in cinematic history. You should check it out. Next thing you're gonna tell me you haven't seen the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trilogy. Come on. They're timeless classics, especially the third one. That movie is unironically amazing. So yeah, it's gonna meme your gun out with 90% less bullet speed, 300% more projectile amount, 30% less damage, more drag, and +4 spread. You gotta love when Perfect Random decides to be vague with these because, yeah, there is a lot of drag to this. Who knows how much? No one does. Well, I mean, they do, but it's not for us to know. Just like to truly understand the Matrix, you gotta be like a mega nerd. And if you were a mega nerd, you could probably get into the game files and see what the drag modifiers were. I mean, I didn't even try to look. Alright, I just kind of like the mystery. Parallel mag is an oil that should be on most of your infinite ammo guns because you get a free projectile at the cost of reload speed. If you're shooting infinitely, you're never reloading. That's got to be my most quoted thing, is just mentioning that. But at the same time, you don't know when someone's watching the video if they've got a lot of experience or they don't have a lot of experience. So sorry for being repetitive throughout all of the videos. But like, what am I supposed to do? Just block out new people? That's messed up. You were new at one point, so was I. I got the dry suck from some ghost that I've never even met. Suppressive oil might have a lot of negatives going for it, but at the same time, getting 3 extra projectiles for only 40% less damage is very powerful. Compared to the other 2 oils that give you +3 projectiles in Careless Splitter and Matrix, and you'll see why it's a great option if you want to knock out all the projectiles in one slot. Tandem and Gemini oil are your go-to gold standard projectile oils that aren't too complicated. Tandem gives you 15% less damage, which is great for low flat rate kind of guns like shotguns that start with very low values there. 15% is not that bad. Gemini flips it and it does -30 flat rate, which means anything with a really high starting damage number, something with like a BMG, is going to benefit more from this. You don't want to take too much off from a percentage there. Energy weapons don't have recoil in sulfur. It's a secret trait of theirs, so that means any oils that give plus recoil are going to be great on them. That's why you might want to throw Puncher on there, or Kicker. Both of those would work really well. I just chose Puncher here. I don't have a specific reasoning for doing it. I guess I kind of wanted to just be 30. 31 might have been weird. By the end of this, I might be like, hey, I guess we talked about 35. Technically, we will talk about 63, but I'm spoiling my idea for the end, which is just kind of sitting there, waiting to be said. But we gotta wait. Complicated oil is not complicated, folks. It's another great option for infinite ammo guns. And this might seem a little crazy, but I'm gonna throw the standard damage oil on here, which has no downsides to it, just plus 25% damage. It's a great default option if you can't think of something else to put on a gun. Just give it another 4th worth of damage. That's crazy good value. Slow Punch could be argued to be the best damage oil in the game for high-powered guns, or any guns, really. 50% is super good. It might make it so you can't put any other negative bullet speed oils on there without feeling a lot of effects from that, but it pairs real well with what could be considered the best scroll in the game in Holy Fire, which makes it so any bullet speed is not really noticeable because it becomes a railgun. And of course, Late Boom oil must be mentioned after Slow Punch. They're working in tandem. It's the Gemini spirits, both born in May, June, July, I don't know what month is Gemini, but one of those is right. Same concept though, plus 30 flat rate, minus 30% bullet speed, so it's a little bit kinder than Slow Punch to you. Thank you for that one. We didn't need the old one too. Actually, Slow Punch doesn't even really sound that deadly, and yet it's so good. What's that about? What are we doing here? Ascetic might look scary to new players, and it might actually be, but once you get some experience under your belt, you'll find out that there's not a lot of money to be had in slaying enemies. More money is going to be made from selling things or from beating Cousin. You get 1,000 Sulf coin there, so that negative money drops isn't that big of a deal. Plus, you're just going to end up flush with cash at some point anyways. Controversial opinion alert, maybe, possibly. I don't know. We don't have a lot of discussions about what's a good oil and what's a bad. Well, we do. Actually, we do. I've seen a lot of people complain about bullet drop oils and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that. I don't think I put any bullet drop oils on here, but I do like that they exist. That's crazy. That's not even my controversial opinion, by the way. That's not it. Potshot giving flat rate plus 35 and disabling aiming is incredibly good. Other high flat rate damage oils are going to take away much more serious and annoying things from your gun, like durability or like the bullet drop. My hot take is Hip Blaster is not in the same realm. It doesn't even sniff the shoes that my guy Potshot would be wearing. Did I even say it was Potshot we're talking about? I'm not sure if I mentioned that. It only gets you plus 20%. I don't think that's in the same realm. That should get a bit of a buff, or if we're being realistic, maybe Potshot will get a bit of a nerf at some point. But it just seems like it outclasses it when you compare the two. Ready Oil is a sneaky good pick for any gun that has a lot of recoil problems, especially if you're working with something automatic, because in that case, the negative is no longer really a negative. You get the decrease in recoil at the expense of a decrease in RPM, so essentially you'll stop yourself from shooting an automatic gun too much and increasing that recoil even more. So it's a bit of a double whammy. It's a really, really great oil to have on hand. It's also why the Holy Fire nerf wasn't as severe as they thought it would be, those cheeky bastards. I love everything about Relax Oil. I like that it gives you negative 50% recoil at only 20% less bullet speed. That's crazy. Also, the name itself is a great reminder to all of us to just chill out once in a while and take things easy going, have some fun, enjoy yourselves, and don't take anything super seriously. Relax, pal. You're freaking out. It's easy to fall into the disable aim category of making guns in Sulfur. Trust me, I do it all the time. That's why Star and Witness are some of my favorite guns. That's not a spoiler for the gun ranking video that I will do at some point, because I try to be objective with these things, alright? Believe it or not. But it makes stable hips super strong. Minus 62% recoil. That's crazy good for just disabling aim. If you throw some scopes on your akimbo guns to get that increased crit chance, then I could see you wanting to ADS with them. That's valid. I usually just use them as backups and don't bother ADSing with them, even though we have the option now. It's personal preference. But the objective note is 62% is one of the highest recoil buffs you can get. Can't say this next one, guys, so I'm just gonna have to show you, and I'm just gonna blur the whole screen out, all right? We can't risk monetization over an oil video, right? That'd be crazy. I think I've cursed like 6 times already, so 0 fucks it is anyways, huh? That bit made like literally no sense. What I'm saying is people get all hung up about cursing on YouTube. I don't care that much. Plus 50% RPM at the cost of 100% loot chance is a pretty good trade-off when looking at RPM oils. I'd argue not a whole lot of them are great. You got lightweight for your energy guns, that's a good option there, but the rest of them, you might be like, do I really need the RPM? I don't know. If you're building a fun gun, maybe. You can throw on stationary and stop moving. There's definitely options there. But not being able to get loot from dead bodies is a great trade-off before endless mode. Rookie oil is going to be your answer for infinite ammo guns, though. Same as all the other great additions to infinite ammo guns, it's just going to negatively affect your reload, so it makes sense, pal. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like putting Mosquito oil on here is a bombshell moment. We all knew Mosquito and Satiety oil would both be on this list of the top 30 oils to hang on to. I think I even saw somebody mention in either the Discord or the subreddit that they can't seem to get Mosquito outside of the reroller, which is the Charismatory by Kevin. They said, can you even get it? Is it even possible? You should be able to get any oil out of that. Just keep re-rolling. It's all RNG. That should show you how many people really like to use this oil. It's the combination of the two, though. We can't forget about Satiety and its weird bug becoming Tetris when it goes on the gun, which makes me hate talking about it, yet I still talk about it in nearly every video. Relax oil. This almost got ugly in here, okay? Because I was about to start doing puns with the next oil. I was like, overdose oil. Probably working a pun there. Probably shouldn't, but I could. And that one will give you +2 bullets penetrate at -25% max durability. That might sound a little worrisome, but I think having 2 bullets penetrating makes sense for the trade-off, right? If you think about it. If you line your shots up, you might be getting 3 birds with 1 stone, and it's almost equaling up to that 1/4 you're missing, if not better. Anyways, if we move on to Tom Cruise's second best role in Collateral, maybe third best if you're a big Tropic Thunder fan, it gives you +2 to bullets penetrate at the cost of 100% recoil, which is obviously amazing with energy guns, but I would argue it's manageable if you pace your shots on some single shot semi-auto guns. I think it's totally manageable there. Bullet speed oils are usually to help counter some of the oils that are dragging your guns down a little bit. You know, throw on 4 good ones, then a 5th one being your bullet speed helper. You don't want your bullets to go too slower, it feels just a bit weird. One really good option is fast bed oil. +50% bullet speed at the cost of no money drops. Once again, money's really easy to get just by looting chests or selling treasure you might find. Mostly just selling items is the best way to get a lot of cash. Instant oil has to be numero uno when it comes to the best of the best in bullet speed oils though. Yes, it disables aim, but you get 200% extra bullet speed, basically countering all the negative effects you could possibly rack up. It's the safest insurance plan when you keep going after those damn bullet speeders, man. If the other bet was the fast one, this is the safe bet, buddy. This one won't fail you if you've been failing yourself. This is how you fix that. There's one oil you can always count on the hideous troll having in the attic of the Sulfur Church, and that is the Unlabeled oil. So why would you need to hold on to it? Why would you need to stash it? I guess if you wanted to have 5 and do all 5 random oils like you're doing a soul flock or something, then yeah, you gotta stash it. There's no real reason to like loot it and pick it up. Actually, if you see it, you're probably like, oh, I'll sell that, sure, why not? When did I put this on here for? Look, it's a great oil that I want to talk about. I gotta talk about it. It's a great oil, right? Everyone agrees with me that it's cool that they put this in. The flavor text says, what could it be? But what it will do is give you any other oil that's in the game. I do have one major gripe with this, and it's actually part of the gun system in general, and that's that you can't see what the oils do when they're on your gun. You have to have another copy of the oil. Say you put it on, you get something like Spartan oil, and you have no idea exactly what negatives you're getting from that extra damage boost. That could be kind of annoying. You could use the wiki or whatever, but not everybody wants to jump out a game to figure out what something does. That's kind of lame, all right? It would be nice if we could just hover over and it said minus this plus this, you know? It's got it all lined up. Maybe that's their plans. Maybe that's part of the improvement cycle of 1.0. I don't know. Inherited oil is one of the strongest durability oils in the game, giving you half of what your starting value is for durability, tacking it on there. At the cost of no loot drops from enemies, and a friendly reminder when you throw a durability oil on, they've made it so it doesn't increase any of the durability loss per shot, which makes a lot of sense for durability oils. When people were complaining about that, I was like, yeah, they're right. That's really weird that it still affects your gun in that way. It's just another sulfur change from perfect random that makes us trust them even more. They listen to us and they're like, how did we not think of that? Duh. What, you think we're just done talking about the more silly fun oils? That's crazy, my friend. We still gotta talk about hyper lead oil. If you read the oil, it tells you plus 40% damage. It tells you plus 100% bullet speed, and then it also says more bullet drop. Oh my god, I think I said I didn't put any bullet drop oils on here, so that was a lie. And I'm sorry. We gotta talk about Hyperlead's unique bullet drop, though. A bullet drop that is so severe that there is nothing you can do to save your gun. It's a really funny oil. Pairing it with some bounce oils is going to make your gun really fun. I'm not a big fan of the spread oils available in the game. I think they make them purposely a little bit weaker because you have the barrel attachments that all lower spread, but there is one that daddy like, and that would be Dead Center oil. And also another one that it was almost put on the list, but it didn't make it. Actually, let's do an honorable mention real quick. Maybe we should finish Dead Center before we do an honorable mention. Yeah, maybe you're right. Let's do that right now. Dead Center gives you a -2 spread at +1 recoil, so you're going up 1 whole value in recoil. We can't see that stat on our guns, but you can definitely see the stat once it increases while you shoot the gun. It's a great trade-off for guns that might have too much spread, especially something like a shotgun if it's slow firing, or any of the energy weapons, obviously. I don't have to keep saying that, but I will because I like to. I like the energy guns, man. I do. Except for the dart. I'm not a big fan of the dart. It might be my least favorite gun. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet. We haven't done the gun ranking yet. It feels like I'm teasing it like you're going to be expecting it real soon, but it's up to Perfect Random for when we get the actual 1.0. The honorable mentions are 33 or so oils that didn't make the cut, and I'm going to throw them right here. Maybe I even thought of one after I started editing the video and wanted to throw it on, so they'll all be right here. Let's not mess up our YouTube metabolism and make this too hard to swallow and exit. What am I saying? I'm not sure exactly where we were going with that. I'm not exactly sure what their thought process is with critical oils either, because I don't actually, I think I do get it. I just had to say it out loud. I had to break down dead center to understand why crit oils aren't that great. Because all the scopes give you plus crit chance, so a lot of them feel like you're taking away way too much for minimal reward. I still find myself using out-of-the-box oil once in a while. Plus 20% crit chance at negative 30% max durability. Maybe don't pair this with too many guns that are losing durability, but that's still a decent bump in the crit chance world. Just makes you think a little bit, you know, abnormally. Oh man, I didn't mean for the last 2 out of 3 categories here for me to have a negative opinion on them, but it kind of happened. Shaved clip oil is the only reload oil that I could really justify wanting to use more often than others. And that's not to say I totally love its plus 50% reload speed at the cost of minus 30% durability. The tricky thing with any shooter is determining how often do you need to reload in a situation. Do you have the available space to have a standard reload time? Can you get a couple of kills with a high-powered gun and then back away? Oh, dude, I was on the last bullet, I think, bro. Oh my god. Is it worth risking higher damage or RPM or projectiles or durability, in this case especially, to be able to speed up your reload when you could just get space, run away, and then reload somewhere else and then get back in the fight? Usually that's an option, at least in my opinion. There's no reloads outside of the Neuraxis or the Bronco that are that devastating to pull off that you need to do things with the reload oil, and with both of those, I would probably just make them infinite ammo anyways. So shaved clip is basically my, if I had to pick one, it's this one, I guess. And I wasn't saying that about dead center oil back there either. I actually really like dead center oil and use it a lot. Arkanoid might be a really scary sounding name, but it is one of the most fun oils in the game, and you're gonna want to hold on to a couple of these. They definitely look like little balls of semen. I'm just gonna say it, alright? We're all thinking it. This turns your gun into some Willy Wonka shit, giving you plus 13 bullet bounces at negative 80% bullet speed, and if you want your gun to be extra goofy, that negative bullet speed isn't necessarily a bad thing anyways. Oh, that looks so suggestive! Pair with the hyper lead. Do it. You won't. It's even better, because then it just like counters that, and then you get that extra goofiness to it. In my opinion, it is the best fun oil in the game. I think it solos Matrix, and yeah, Unlabeled is another fun one, right? That one's pretty fun. Hyperlead's another goofy fun one too. It beats that one as well, in my opinion. Bullet bouncing is one of Sulfur's standout features that you don't really see in many other first-person shooters, so it's great that we have an oil that really amplifies that. It's one you can put on when you want to show your friends the game and get them to go, ooh, ah, wow. Basically sounding like my son. He always be doing that. He always go, whoa, wow, ooh. Been a big fan of that recently. With the amount of oils in this game, everyone's opinions on what would make their top 30 or even top 10 are going to be different from the next person. So please don't be afraid to comment about how much you hate me and despise my views, because you love boomstick oil even though it's goofy. I respect that, actually. Or just comment about whatever you want. Or don't comment. I don't care. You're free to do whatever you want, buddy. I don't want to tell anybody what to do ever, except for the members of this channel, because those guys are so great that I want to tell them to make sure they love themselves, have a great day. I want to make sure that they make sure to tell themselves to have a great day, even if that sounds like total nonsense coming out of my mouth, because the things they do feels like total nonsense going into my brain. They're so kind and generous, giving some extra support to my family and I. They don't have to do that, but they do it anyways. It's not really nonsense. They know that. They know they're a bunch of cuties. If you're disappointed I didn't break down every single oil in the game and give them their own ranking, I got great news for you. Extension of Lie took it upon themselves. They're crazy in the best ways. I'll make sure to pin a comment with their video down below and probably throw it up at the top right there. You can just click it right there right now, maybe. And I am planning on doing gun rankings and scroll rankings. Those are the two most requested rankings for good reason. But Perfect Random adding improvements on the roadmap so that we're not in 1.0 yet has made it so we're gonna wait for that. I want to be in 1.0 before I rank all the guns, especially because we know there's at least one new gun coming. At least anyone that watched the gun design contest knows the next gun coming. Now that right there, that's how how you get him to watch another video. Wow. Figured it out finally.